Hey everyone, Tony George, TGIF, Sweet 16 Friday action. Purdue taking on the behemoth that is the Houston Cougars, who've been at the top of the rankings all year long. We're going to talk about this game, but before we talk about this game, let's talk about Thursday, then we'll talk about Friday. I like Friday a lot better than I like Thursday. We got out there with a small profit. We got a 3-pack with a top play tonight. I like the board and some interesting angles here tonight, and this game provides some too. We'll talk about, but Thursday, you saw all 4 favorites win straight up, 2 of them covered. All 4 games went over the total. Is that going to happen tonight? Probably not. And a couple interesting notes from Thursday. John Calipari doing what John Calipari does. You follow me on Twitter, at TGeorgeSports. I put it up there for you this morning. He does what he does in the postseason. Blows games at 16-point lead and lost. Wow. On a side note, when's the last time, I've been doing this 33 years, when's the last time a Sweet 16 team in a game scored 88 points and got throttled by 25? Wow. BYU. Unreal. I can't recall a time. Now we roll over into Friday. There's some good games today. As we break down this game today, it's interesting on Friday. You have 3 coaches that you always are very wary of in the limelight in big games. 2 of them are coaching in this game tonight between Matt Painter and Calvin Sampson. The other one is the granddaddy of them all, and that's Rick Barnes, who I've been fading in big games since he was at Texas. But that's a whole nother story. We're on a play in that game. But when you look at that scenario tonight, this game, Houston, the total is 131.5, and they're laying 8 points. Of all the teams playing in the Sweet 16, I have Purdue rated the lowest. Okay, so then there's that. Has nothing to do with Matt Painter. So you look at this game and you say, well, who's the better team? Well, is Houston the best team in the country? It's a coin flip. There's 3 or 4 of them that you could interchange them at any point in time. Comes down to free throws and a couple of key turnovers, maybe a foul, lose a player, that sort of thing. I mean, it's that tight, But Purdue is the more inconsistent team and less talented team of the 2 tonight. Does that warrant an 8-point line? I'm not for sure. One thing about Purdue is they're hot or they're not. There's no gray area in between. Houston is one of the best defensive teams, if not the best defensive team in the country. They can hit threes at a high rate. They do a lot of things very well. I don't see a ton of weaknesses with them. I can say this about a couple other teams as well. The sum of all parts is greater for Houston than it is for Purdue. And the one thing with Purdue is, if you go back to all the March Madness bracketology shows, bracketology or whatever it's called, with all these mainstream media guys, there were 3 teams they talked about that potentially could be Cinderellas in this tournament. We all found out there are no more Cinderellas, including Gonzaga being a mid-major team. It's not going to happen anymore. Not with nil money in the transfer portal. It's not going to happen. You're going to have the best of the best of the best past the second round moving forward. Maybe the NIT should expand their field. You keep the NCAA tournament, Power 4, Power 5 conferences only. All the mid-majors play in the NIT. Expand that field and have 2 awesome tournaments. Maybe. But that's another podcast. At the end of the day here, 3 of those teams they all talked about were McNeese State, High Point, and UC San Diego. Ironically, Purdue beat two of them in McNeese State, who I had in the first round against Clemson because they were better than Clemson. They won wire to wire. And then High Point. Well, you're up against a totally different animal now. And with this hot and not and inconsistency on offense, you're not going to get second chance points because Houston attacks the boards in the paint. They're just loaded top to bottom. That being said, I do not want to lay 8 points with Houston, but I will play him in the first half line. Matt Painter can make some adjustments at halftime and maybe make this competitive down the stretch, but I think they're going to run into a brick wall out of the gate here, and Houston's going to try and impose their will, and they probably will. And I'll take them on the first half line -4.5 for your free play. Over at the website today, we have a 3-pack with a 6-unit top play. We had a small profit last night. We lost with Texas Tech, a 3-unit play, and we barely won with Duke in the first half line. They were ahead by 6. We laid 5.5. That was a close shave. We'll take it. Profit. Tonight, we roll. All right. Major League Baseball. Opening day, 3-unit play only. Kansas City Royals blew a 3-0 lead in the 6th inning and losing extra innings. Welcome, Major League Baseball. Nonetheless, took a little hit. So what we're going to do on Fridays, we're just going to sit around and watch these games. They're all going to play again tomorrow. We're going to sit around. We're going to watch these games today, digest some information, and then strike on Saturday. 4-unit NBA best bet, 4-unit NBA prop. Don't forget the UFL. We're doing the UFL this year. Spring football, baby. Come on. Well, we're going to pass in tonight's lone game. We'll have a pick over the weekend. Doc Sports, that's the place to be. Free $60. Link in the description below. Is to expand the description below the video, or there's a tab on the website that says free $60. We'll park it in any new account. Comes with a profit guarantee. You Gen Xers and Millennials, Gen Zs, whatever they call them, that never use a laptop, you can sign up right on your phone. Just text the word Tony to 29022, and there's a link you can sign up on your phone. It's easy to get hooked up with the best. DocSports.com. Be there or be square.